Hey guys, welcome to my channel HAIRLICIOUSLY. If you guys are new to this channel, my name is Aaron and I've had 1700 grafts implanted into the frontal portion of my hairline back in November of 2016 in South Korea at Motion Clinic, and as you guys can see, I've had some pretty good results. If you guys want to know more about the things that I do take to prevent and slow down further hair loss and also my regimen, please feel to visit my website at hairliciously.com. So today's video has been requested by a lot of my subscribers since they wanted to see if there were any updates pertaining to current hair loss treatments in the pipelines. As you know, 2018 was a very good year for many of the biotech and pharmaceutical companies worldwide that started to look into various treatments for hair loss. So today's video is going to talk about BROTZU Lotion, aka TRINOV. In my next video, I will be covering follicum. As you guys know, Dr. Suji has been a pretty big request, and some other treatments in the pipeline, so please be patient and stay tuned. I will get through all of them. And as many of you guys are familiar with, TRINOV was finally released last year, late last year, sometime around November, December of 2018. And a lot of people have anticipated the lotion, and they've also purchased it in hopes of regrowing hair. So to recap TRINOV's research, it's based on the work of Dr. BROTZU in Italy by a pharma company called Fidia. So TRINOV contains DGLA, which acts as an anti-inflammatory and also a vacillator, kind of like minoxidil, which promotes the activation of PGE1. We also have S-Equal, which is an anti-DHT agent, and L-carnitine, which is a metabolic enhancer. So all three combined is known to have effects in regrowing hair. The lotion costs about $80 USD, which I think it's a little bit pricey in my opinion, but supposedly doesn't have any side effects like minoxidil. So here are some photos that show TRINOV's claims at 2 months. Notice the temples have significant more hair, which is quite an improvement and by far the best result that I have seen. These other photos here show 6 months of usage and their respective results. So the question that you guys have been wondering is, does it work and what were the results of people using them? So I actually managed to do some research on various hair loss forums on people claiming to be using TRINOV, so please take it with a grain of salt. If you guys follow hairlosstalk.com, which is another hair loss blog, a lot of people have been posting their progress, and they actually have a separate section or forum just for the tracking of TRINOV. So that's probably the best place to track the results of using TRINOV. And I've researched, over 50 pages and sorted and compiled it into this one video here today for you guys. So one thing to note is that it's only been 3 months since the release of TRINOV. So people have been only using it for 3 months, at the maximum, and only seeing results at their 3-month mark. TRINOV requires at least 6 months to see good hair growth results. So in terms of a full update, we kind of have to wait until the 6-month mark to see and assess the validity of TRINOV to its full effect once we hit that 6-month mark, and also to see what the users have to say. So the other thing is that we don't know for certain if some people are using other types of hair loss medications in conjunction of TRINOV, such as Finasteride, Dutasteride, RU58841, or microneedling, which can definitely affect the results of using TRINOV. I feel like the forum would be far more beneficial if people actually posted what other meds that they were taking, how often they're taking it, what dosages that they're taking TRINOV, their age, their initial photos before taking TRINOV. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the comments and updates made by claimed users. And then I'm going to be able to show you guys a couple pictures of 2 people who have been tracking their results. So comment number 1 that I found was, this guy's been using it for 4 weeks, using TRINOV. He says that he sees tiny hairs sprouting in bald areas in the temples with minor shedding. No side effects, which is always a good thing, but was previously using Finasteride and had side effects such as ball aching and brain fog. He's using 1.5 milliliters a day. Next one, this guy has been using 3 weeks of TRINOV but doesn't see any changes. His mother also has been using it and noticed decrease in hair fall. Next person has been using it for 45 days, increased shedding and no regrowth so far. Next comment, 5 weeks of using TRINOV, twice a day, no side effects, decrease in shedding to about 60 to 70%, decrease in scalp itchiness and tingling on the temples where he was receding. No signs of regrowth yet. He hates the price. 24 days of using TRINOV, reduced shedding, no regrowth so far. Now this is a female user at 4 weeks, Hair feels thinner, increased scalp itchiness, and losing more hair. Week 5 of using TRINOV, light shedding reduced, scalp itchiness is gone, 0 side effects, and some vellus hair growth on the temple region. Next person has been using it for 5 weeks, using TRINOV in conjunction with 1 milligram Finasteride for the past 13 months. Left temple has some minor regrowth, there's darker vellus hairs, and slight shedding has increased. Next person, 1 month of using TRINOV, hair feels thicker, slight shedding, receding areas look thinner, itchiness is back, but he's also using 8 weeks of microneedling. And as you guys know, microneedling does work. I've made previous videos of the effectiveness, so it does work. Next comment, 2 weeks of using TRINOV, possible temple and hairline regrowth. Much quicker than minoxidil in terms of regrowth, currently using TRINOV twice a day. And the next comment, 3 weeks since starting TRINOV, some vellus hairs on the thinning areas, and he's only been using TRINOV, normal shedding, as far as what he can tell. And now let's go ahead and move on to photos. Like I mentioned, not a lot of people posted photos, and mostly they were all comments. But I did manage to find 2 people who posted some before and after photos of using TRINOV for the past couple months or so. So I think it's going to be very useful for those who do want to continue or start using TRINOV. So this guy posted some photos of his before using TRINOV. So here are his photos pre-TRINOV. He has some pretty moderate temple hair loss and also on the hairline. And here are some photos after 6 weeks. Now it's a bit hard to tell, but it looks like there were some minor regrowth on the temple areas, if you guys see it closely. This is another guy who's been using TRINOV for the past 6 weeks. I'd say that this guy definitely seems to have some good results based on the photos he has presented. But he also claims to have been using microneedling for the past 9 months. So we don't know at this point if TRINOV has much of an effect to the hair growth, since we already know that he's been using microneedling and we know that it does help. But nevertheless, his after photos, especially the temple region, looks like he has had some pretty good vellus hair regrowth. So in conclusion, this is pretty much my opinion and my thoughts. I believe in the science behind it, and I wouldn't be surprised if TRINOV is actually as effective as minoxidil. But I think it's a little bit, blown out of proportion. And with Vidya being, one of the biggest pharma companies with famous doctors behind the product, many people seems to have kind of overhyped this product. It's about $80, like I said, for a month's supply, and that seems pretty expensive to me. And for something that really wouldn't completely reverse hair loss. If the pricing was reduced significantly, I think it'd be a good alternative, and it might be better to use it as part of the Big 3 regimen. Like I said, we kind of have to wait until a few more months to see the final results, because it does take at least 6 months. I'll keep you guys posted on the results and keep you guys updated. I'm also going to be doing some more of these updates in terms of other hair loss pipelines currently being worked, such as Dr. Suji, Follicum. There's a bunch of other ones that just don't come across my mind. So stay tuned for that. Also, for those who have been purchasing the microneedling device, thank you very much for all of your support. They're currently backlogged, and it should take about 5 to 7 days for me to actually receive the batch. So please be patient. If you guys would like a refund, please let me know, and then I can notify you guys once the product is available. But for those who've already made the purchase, please just be patient. I will be shipping them out shortly. And if you guys have any questions, please make sure to let me know. If you guys have any topic requests, I'm open to that. I've been reading a lot of your comments and trying my best to answer each and every one of them. So thank you very much for everything, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.